Hi everyone, it's PHINQS here, and today I'm bringing you another Valheim build video. Now, this will be similar to a video I've done in the past, which I called the efficient starter base or something like that. And basically a lot of the feedback I got in that video was really positive, but a few people said that a couple of the steps in which I used to get to the final build weren't so clear, and because this is one of my first videos I ever made on this channel, obviously it wasn't going to be perfect. So I said to a few people in the comments I'd remake something similar and try and make the steps a little bit more clear so that people could follow along. So having said all that, hopefully you like the video. If you do, be sure to actually hit the like button because it helps me out a bunch, and subscribe to the channel if you like content like this. Okay, let's get started. First thing you're going to need is a flat-ish ground. It doesn't need to be too flat, but you know, make a half decent effort at making it flat just because it makes everything a little bit easier. And then we're going to make ourselves a plan of 5 by 10. So this is going to be our 5 deep there, and then we will have another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when you're done, it's going to look something like this. So that's 5 deep and 10 long. After this, we're going to go ahead and put a little rectangle here in the middle of the long side. So this is 4 in, and then you're going to put a little, then you're going to go 1 out, and then 2 along, and then 1 back in. And we're going to do the same on the other side as well. And basically these are going to be locations which we can have the front door and the fire. Next up, grab your wood pole 2 meters, and all we're going to do is build 2 up on each corner. So we'll have another 2 here, and then on this back corner, and basically just follow this all the way around your structure until eventually it looks something like this. Now we're going to follow the plan on the bottom floor with the wood beams again, and just start to create a sort of cube-like shape or a cuboid-like shape, and this is going to act as the frame for our structure. So now that we have that, we're going to grab our wood wall, our full wood walls, and just go around the outside and fill in all of these gaps. So this is just going to be the outskirts. We're going to leave this section open here because this is going to be for our main entrance, and then just fill in the rest of the structure around the side. Once we get to this section, which is going to be where our fire will be placed, we're going to fill in these sides as usual, and then we're going to have the back filled in like so, and then we can have this section just here is going to be filled in too, and then this is going to allow us to take our thatch roof 45 degree and just plug it into the back like so, and that's basically going to allow the smoke to sort of funnel out of the back without, you know, causing your whole structure to fill up with smoke. Now once you've filled all these spaces in and you have done this little section at the back for the fire, it's going to look something like this. Well, not something like this, exactly like this, unless you decide to you know, make it a certain size to suit whatever you want to put inside. So then I have the half walls here at the front. I'm going to go ahead, grab these wood gates, and just place them in there. And then I'm actually going to remove these beams on the bottom because I'm not sure if it's some sort of bug or something like that, but pretty much every time I put the beams along the bottom and then I try and run in these doorways, it just kind of blocks me off. I'm going to take out these 2 beams on this inside here too, and just fill in all of this on the inside with wood floor 2 by 2. With the floor filled in, it's going to look something like this. As I'm sort of building this as a starter base, I'm not going to bother with the stone floor here. Actually, I am going to put the stone floor in, but I just want to make the point that if you haven't already unlocked stone and this is going to be a starter base, this section here, you can basically just leave it as dirt. You don't need to put stone in here, but I just think it looks a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you what this looks like with the campfire inside. And the smoke is going to basically just funnel out the back here, and you know, it's kind of just be taken away rather than filling up this inside section with smoke. When it comes to the room, we're going to take our wood wall 45 degrees, put these on both sides like so, and then grab our wood beam 2 meters, take it along like this. We can fill in this bottom section now with our wood walls, and then with our wood beam 45 degrees, I like to sort of just click that in there, take our cross, and then our wood beam on the bottom again, and then maybe just put in this little wood cross. And this just allows some natural light sort of to come into the structure without, you know, opening up all of these walls to windows and things like that, or relying on sort of wood torches or sconces or things like that. Once you're done with the two side panels, it's going to look something like this, and then in this little section on the front and back of the house, we're going to take our wood wall 45 degrees, add them in here and here, wood beam across the top here, and one forming out the way, wood beam 45 degrees, and then again just tying this off with our wood beams. So once that's done, we're going to do the exact same on the back. It's going to look something like this when you're done, and then we can grab our we'll go one more in with the wood beam here on this side too, and then we can start to build up like this, just to sort of match the outside areas. And then what I might even do just for what I might do just for sort of aesthetic effect, I'll just copy this just in the middle here as well. Okay, so once this is done, you can kind of see the outline of the roof, and all we're going to do is grab our thatch roof 45 degrees and start to fill in this space here. So once you're done with filling in the roof, it's going to look something like this, and then we're going to grab our thatch roof 45 degrees and just fill in this top section here. It's going to look something like this, and then we're going to do it on the other side as well. Now, if I could just ask, if you haven't already liked the video, be sure to do it, because it's really going to help this video and help other people who like similar content to yourself find this video as well. So that's sort of our outside. Just to sort of flush it out a little bit, we're going to grab our thatch roof 26 degrees, and we're going to start to form this around the outside, and we might actually just take out this little section here one step further, just to sort of add a little bit of depth to the structure. It's going to look something like so, and then other than that, we're just going to sort of loop this bottom section with the thatch roof 26 degrees. Going to look something like this, and then like this, and then like this. So go ahead and wrap the whole structure like that. Remember to add on this extra layer of depth on the outsides. So once you're done wrapping the structure in the 26-degree thatched roofs, all I've done other than that is just put this lining with the beams around the outside, up the top with the cross, and then also just added in these crosses on the side pieces, just because it just looks a little bit better. One thing extra that you can do, which I didn't do initially, but I felt like it looked a little bit plain like this. So one thing you can do here is just add in windows that sort of look like this, and I'll show you how to do that real quickly. So you could just take out two panels wherever you want the windows to be. You're going to take your wood beam, place two along the bottom like this, and one perpendicular on to the roof like that. And then we're going to put in our wood beam 45 degrees and just fill in these back areas with the thatch roof 45 degrees interior corner, which is going to look like that. And again, just on the outside here. And then the only other thing I did on the other side was just adding this wood pole in the middle, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. I'm probably going to end up doing that on this side too. Now it's done. And yeah, this is pretty much it for the exterior. If we go ahead and get involved on the inside here, let's see what it looks like. So as you can see, we've got a fair amount of natural light in here, and then we've got obviously the campfire providing some sort of light as well. And the idea I wanted to kind of put together on this side of the structure was having this sort of raised area here just for the bed. So I'm going to go ahead, add some stairs in on this side, add some stairs in on this side, and grab my wood floor and just put in this raised platform here. Now with this raised platform, I'm going to grab my bed and furniture and just place these in. Now obviously this is designed as a starter house, but if you get to the stage where you want to put a dragon bed, as you can see, there's still plenty of room here. And then what I like to do is use this underneath section just to put in a little bit of storage. So I'm going to go ahead, place these half blocks. I do have a full video on storage and things like that, so if you're not sure how I'm putting together this little section on the bottom here, be sure to go check that one out. I'll put a link to that video in the description or the comments or something like that. So we've just kind of divided this up into nice little slots here. I'm going to go ahead and line these off with the wood beams, and might just do the same on this side too. And the only other thing we need to do is just this little corner section. We can then go on to furniture, grab our regular chests and just slot these in like so, and you will see me use this method quite a lot when it comes to doing the rest of the structure as well. What I like to make sure I'm doing is that you kind of see on the bottom beam here, it kind of starts to protrude through, so I just need to make sure that that's not happening, and that the chest looks more or less in the middle of the little box which we've created there. That's going to look something like this, and then of course this won't be completely applicable to a starter base, but we can put in sconces on the walls and things like that. I'm going to add torches for this stage, but then once you sort of start to unlock a little bit more in the game, you can start to decorate with things like your blue banners and things like that. So of course we're going to need to put in some things to eat. Where are we? We've got the cooking stations here and here, and you can put multiple over one campfire, so I normally only do 2 or 3 because I don't really need it for solo games, but you can put as much as sort of 5 and 6 there. And then of course we've got a cauldron here which you won't have unlocked at the start, but you will eventually need that further down the line, so you can just put more cooking stations until you have this unlocked. So once you finish doing that, the only other thing I might add is just to put in a little frame around this bed section to sort of make it look a little bit more grand, if you will. So that's going to be 2 wood pole, 2 meters, and then all we're going to do is just kind of square this off along the top and the sides. It's going to look something like this, and just create that like extra sort of frame on the sleeping area there. I think it looks quite good, especially when you start to replace this with the dragon bed. It looks really nice. And then on the other side here, we're going to have our crafting table and sort of like a built-in storage area. So the first thing we need to do is sort of mark off our area. Now I'm going to have a little block, 2 blocks here in the center where we're going to have the crafting station, which means I'm going to tie this bit off, and this side on the left and this bit on the right is going to be storage. So I think we can get away with doing something like this for now. I'm going to use the wood floor 1 by 1 to sort of make this section here, and then just flip it around. So as you can see, it's a full wood floor deep here, and then this is going to be stopped sort of halfway along a wood floor. So once that's done, we can start to build the frame for all of the storage. So what I like to do is grab the wood beam 1 meters and just mark off these half slots, because we're going to inevitably be using them as markers for the wood pole here. We can start to frame off this little section here and have something like this, and then again in the center of the wood floors, going too high until we're left with something that looks like this. The next thing we need to do is grab our wood floor halves, and we will just place that in the middle there, and I might just build this all the way up here, so we've got 3 there, and then we can use this as snap points for our wood floors. So it's going to create this sort of shelving system on the inside here, tie it off at the top, and then back down on the other side, and we're going to do the exact same on this side. Then the last thing we need to do is grab our wood beam 2 meters and just tie off the ends here. So now we have this, we're going to grab our furniture, our crafting workbench, and just place that in. Honestly, it's not really too important, but maybe something like this. And then when that's in place, we can put this this wooden wall in at the back of it, otherwise we won't be able to place our craft bench. Now the snap points are a little bit weird on this one, but we do manage to get there eventually. We're going to put in some shelves along the top here, and then you might not have some of these upgrades, but eventually you will unlock them. So I'm going to put them in just to show you sort of how they place. One there, and then we'll grab this chopping block and just place it down here. The only one we have left is this one here, which we can place it somewhere if we really want to. We could probably place it on the top or something, to be honest. Maybe not. But what I like to do with this one, because it is bigger, is I'll just go around the outside, wherever my workbench may be, and I'll just create sort of like a sort of woodworking area around the back here. So normally what I like to do is put in a couple of wood stacks, and I'll build this area up a little bit and just sort of create this sort of outside garden area. For the meantime, I'm just going to remove it just because I'm not going to bother with that on this video, but that's what I like to do normally, and just to let you guys know. And then the only thing we have to do just to finish this little area up is just grab our chest, and similarly to what we did underneath this bed area here, we're just going to zoom in and just start to place all of these in. So once you're finished, it should look something like this. I ended up taking this block out because I think it gave it a little bit more shape, having this sort of L shape rather than just another box similar to this side. So I took out this little bit, walled off the back, and just added in one of these wards. I think it looked really good. This little area up here just sort of looks like storage, so I just kind of added a few stools and a few chairs. And the only other thing that this house really needs is probably just a few things to sort of increase the comfort, so that you have those extra sort of couple minutes buff. All I'm going to do to add those ones in is just, let's have a look, we're adding a few rugs and things like that. The only other thing that I might do is just get a little bit more natural light in here, so we could take out maybe these 4 blocks, add in a few of these half walls, grab these wood poles and just sort of tie off the ends here. And this would be your starter base. As you can see, there's quite a bit of room for expansion and things. There's still quite a lot of room left over, some space up here, a bunch of storage, and you've got capability for a level 5 workbench. And then obviously when you come to make your forge and things like that, you probably want to do that outside because you're going to need like a furnace and all those other good stuff. So hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please do leave it a like. It really helps me out, and it lets other people who like these kind of videos and similar content to you find this video as well. So that would be really helpful. If you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so, and I will see you in the next video.